wanted to make a separate video just about the Morse code step specifically on Blood of the Dead, because it's one of the steps that is very tedious and difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but as soon as you figure out the shortcuts, it's one of the easiest steps. There's a lot of footage in this video from when I used to do it the old way, where I would just try to guess one digit at a time. I would enter a dot, and then I would enter a dash, and just so on and so forth to see what it was in just a random order. I didn't realize there was a pattern to it. So now I know, after watching YouTube videos and stuff, that there is a pattern to it. It's usually a 2-digit number, and as far as I know, it can only ever start with a 1 or a 2. So if you just learn what the numbers are in Morse code, 0 through 9, then you know what to do. And so if it always starts with a 1 or a 2, it's so simple. You walk in here, and you enter dot, followed by a dash. If the warden laughs on the dash, then you know it's a 2. And you've got the first digit already. So you just enter your dot, dot, dash, 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 which is 2. And then it's a 2-digit number, so the second number is going to be somewhere between 0 and 9. So you just start with either a dot or a dash for your second number. If you enter a dot and the warden laughs, then you know it starts with a dash. So you enter a dash, and you just keep entering dashes until he laughs. For example, your first number is a 2, so you enter 2. You start with your second number, you do dot, and then the warden laughs. So you do dash. Warden doesn't laugh, so you do another dash. The warden laughs, and then you know what it is. It's going to be a dash followed by 4 dots, which is 6. And so on and so forth. So as soon as you get the first number, which is either a 1 or a 2, move on to getting the second number. You just enter dots in a row, or you enter dashes in a row. You don't want to alternate it and enter a dot followed by a dash. You want to just keep entering the same thing until the warden laughs. Because of the way the numbering system is in Morse code, it makes it very simple. If you're entering a bunch of dots in a row, and then you enter, let's say, dot, 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 and then on the 4th dot, the warden laughs, then you know exactly what it is. It's dot, 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 followed by 2 dashes. And you're done. And that would be number 3, for example. So while it is hard to explain, in practice, it's very easy. Enter your digits just to narrow it down if it's a 1 or a 2. So let's say it starts with a 1, you figure that out. Then you start your second digit, you do dot. Everything's good, warden doesn't laugh. Enter another dot. There you go, you're done. You know that it's 11. Because he laughed on the second dot, therefore there's no other possibility. It can't be anything other than a 1, because it's a dot followed by a dash, and if it's a dot followed by a dash, that the only number that's dot followed by a dash is number 1. There's no other numbers that can start with that possibility. So by figuring out where the dots start and the dots stop and the dashes start, or vice versa, you know exactly what number it is. If you enter a dash, warden doesn't laugh. You enter another dash, warden doesn't laugh, and then you enter a third dash, and he laughs. You know it's a 7, because it's dash, dash, and then the rest are dots. It can't be dash, dash, dot, and then go back to dashes. It's always one followed by the other in a sequence. If you look at the numbers in Morse code from 0 to 9, it's always that way, which makes it so much easier to get this step. So I don't know if any of this is making sense, but basically, it always starts with a 1 or a 2. Sometimes it's a 1-digit number, which is super easy, but usually it's a 2-digit number. Figure out your 1 or 2, and then you just narrow it down. The next number is somewhere between 0 and 9. If you're entering dashes, and then the warden laughs, you know exactly where to start doing the dots. So you don't even need to fail the step again. You already know what the number is. So that's that. I hope that helps in some way, or sheds some light on this step. And of course there's this other part of the step where you have to go kill a zombie in the infirmary. And I used to think it had to be in that specific room with the medical equipment and the bed and stuff, but it doesn't. It could be anywhere in the infirmary. You kill a zombie there, and then it spawns an invisible ghost that keeps doing laps around the infirmary. You gotta look at him through your shield, aim your shield, and then blast him. But nothing will happen until you interact with the ghost. And that's one thing I sometimes forget to do. You have to interact with the ghost, and then you can start filling him up with zombie souls. And that's the only way he moves. One zombie soul equals several meters of movement. So you have to kill like a bunch of zombies to get him to move all the way with you. And if you try to lead him down to the docks, all the way down, without using the gondola, it's a way longer route, takes too much time. So if you just use the gondola like that, so much easier. So that right there also makes this Morse code step easier. So after learning all those tricks, Morse code step actually became one of the easiest challenges. It's not even really a challenge anymore because you know what the first digit is. It's going to be a 1 or a 2. It takes about 10 seconds to figure out which of the two it's going to be. And then the second digit, you start entering dots. As soon as the word laughs, you know what it is. And I think you don't really have to fail this more than twice. Because if you enter a number 1 and it's correct, and then you start with a dash, and then the word laughs, so you do dash dot, then you have to keep doing dots until you get a laugh. So anyways, in practice, it's so easy, and that helped me with Morse code step.